Because the qualities the verse mentions fit no one else except Muhammad, historically speaking.
Can you show me?
Okay. When it says that I will raise you a prophet from your brethren,
Yep.
okay, the term brethren can refer to Israelites and non-Israelites, in particular the Arabs.
Okay.
Because the same term in the Bible refers to Edomites.
Well-
Edomites. Are you aware of that?
Yeah. Well, it does talk about Edomites.
And they were Arabs.
Yeah, but number one, have you got evidence that Muhammad's claim to descend from Ishmael is a genuine claim? Have you got evidence?
Yes,
to support that?
absolutely, absolutely.
What's your evidence?
Firstly, to prove my argument, Muhammad doesn't have to be a descendant of Ishmael. Are you aware of that?
Right. So who are you saying he is?
He's an Arabian prophet. So just to respond to your point, I don't have to prove to you that Muhammad was a direct descendant of Ishmael. He was. I will prove that to you.
Okay.
But I'm just simply giving you a side point that I don't even have to prove to you that Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a direct descendant of Ishmael. I don't have to, because the Bible doesn't put that condition.
No,
Okay.
But it does say brethren, and the context seems to be quite clear when it says brethren.
Well, he was an
That's
Arab.
the 12
Muhammad
tribes of
was
Israel.
definitely an Arab. Whether he was a descendant of Ishmael or not can be addressed. Sorry?
I hate this rain. It's very distracting.
Well, we call it the mercy of God. When we don't have it, we're praying for it.
Yeah.
And you're from Australia.
I'm from Australia.
Recently, you know,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
were praying for rain. And
Yeah,
you know,
my name's
Muslim.
Caleb, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Was it Adnan?
Adnan, yes, Adnan. And recently, you know, Muslims came out to pray for rain. So that
Okay.
yeah, and it was a good
Why don't we read
human
the verse?
endeavor.
Why don't we read the verse
Yeah,
and then talk about it?
absolutely.
So why don't I start verse 14 to... Actually, I don't even have written down. Let me get the
before
actual-
you read, I mean, I want to quickly highlight something, that we don't read biblical verses in isolation. What we do is we read them in light of other biblical verses. So we'll read the Bible, or we try to read the Bible holistically, although Bible is patchwork. Even biblical scholars have repeatedly highlighted.
Well, textual criticism is another issue. The passage that I quoted from the Quran
Okay.
Was in what they have of the Torah and the Gospel.
I understand. The question I am trying to address is, can we read the Bible as a uniform text from Genesis to Revelation? No. None of the Christian scholars, none of the Jewish scholars ever claim that. You have to
What do you
read,
mean by a unified text?
because the Bible currently as it is patchwork. Verses have been put together by different people in different places at different times, right? And this is very, very clear
I think we're talking about a different topic.
Yes,
here.
you're right.
What-
You're right, but that topic is directly relevant to the prophecies
Not,
we're
not
discussing.
really, because what I'm trying to say is that in Surah 7, 157, it says that you will find written in the described in the Torah and the Gospel
Yes.
the unlettered prophet.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
And a lot of Muslims point to Deuteronomy 18.
No,
And
we
it
point
says
to other.
in what they have of the Torah and the Gospel.
We point to other passages as well.
But,
so
but,
when
yeah, but you do point to Deuteronomy 18.
we do, it's one of them.
So my
Yes.
point is that if we take that, then we look at that passage, especially starting at verse 14 and 15. What is the evidence there that that's talking about Muhammad? And I wanted to read the passage.
It doesn't mention Muhammad. It does not.
Yeah,
it does not
describes
mention Muhammad.
him.
It gives you ideas. It points to the direction
Why don't I
of
read it?
a prophet. Yeah, a prophet coming.
Why don't I read it?
And wait, so that we have a fruitful discussion very quickly. You can read it. Why are we saying that Deuteronomy 18:18 is still unfulfilled as late as the period of Jesus, when Jesus was
I don't
walking
think it
there?
is unfulfilled.
Okay, that's something we can talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, if it was fulfilled, who was it fulfilled in?
Jesus.
Jesus. Okay, you're saying Deuteronomy 18:18 is.
I mean,
is
I'd sooner say it was Paul than Muhammad.
Okay, now that's the point we need to address. Instead of going into long
But we need to read the
hermeneutic
passage. We need to
exercises.
read the passage first.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
let's
Go
read it,
ahead.
right?
Fair, that's fair enough. Go ahead. Read the passage.
I'm reading
And we
from the NIV, right? But I will, instead of saying fellow Israelites, I'll say brethren, right?
If it's not too troublesome, can we get an umbrella? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So,
Yeah. Now this is better.
verse 15 of chapter 18 of Deuteronomy. The Lord
Okay.
your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from your fellow Israelites or from your brethren. Okay.
Okay, this translation I don't.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll say from brethren.
Is that in brackets?
No.
From,
This is NIV.
from your NIV, which is very much theologically driven. I don't know if you.
I think it's a good translation.
No, it's a good translation. I agree with that.
But
you
I'm
know
happy to
that
just say
that
brethren.
term Israelites.
I'm just happy to say brethren for you. I'll say brethren.
Oh,
Right?
so when
Just
you,
say
why
brethren.
did you say fellow Israelites?
Because it says it here. But I'll just
But
say
it's not-
brethren.
it's not
for
in
your
the
sake,
Hebrew.
I'll say brethren. Yeah, I agree. The Hebrew is brethren.
So-
I think
so-
the meaning is fellow Israelites. That's why it's translated
Okay.
that way.
What I'm trying to highlight is,
I'll read it through.
you just read something which is not in the Hebrew text. Do we agree?
No, I think that is in the Hebrew text. I think it is saying fellow.
From
fellow
Israelites.
Yeah, it is saying fellow Israelites.
No, it's not
When
there.
it says brethren in that context, the
No,
meaning is fellow
no.
Israelites. We
That-
can debate that point.
But the
We can
word,
debate that point.
the words fellow Israelites is missing completely from the Hebrew text,
It
from
says
all
bre-
manuscripts.
It says brethren, but the context of
Yes.
brethren is
No,
fellow
this
Israelites.
this is something you're imposing on it,
No, this is something
because
that is just
brethren
clearly in
is
the
a very
meaning.
general term, which we can talk about. It can mean Israelites, no doubt.
Let's
it can
go-
mean Israelites.
Let me change it to
can
King
also
James
mean
for you.
non-Israelites.
How will King James sort you? Will that be good for you? All right, let me read it, King James. All right.
No, but why don't we go to Hebrew? Isn't that
Well,
better?
we know the word is brethren,
Exactly.
I-
Okay.
I've no
now,
problems with that.
now the issue is.
but we
Breth-
haven't read the passage. Let's
Yeah.
read the passage.
No,
again.
because if you're going to read something which is not in Hebrew, I will have to highlight
that's
that.
fine. Okay,
yeah.
we'll do
Okay. Yeah.
The Lord, which is Yahweh in Hebrew, right, capital, thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him you shall hearken, according to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yahweh, my God, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. And when the Lord said this, and when the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken, I will raise up for them a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. So the first thing I wanted to point out here is that it says there has to be a prophet like Moses.
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We agree. So
in the
here
context, what
let's
does that
agree.
mean?
Let's agree first. The term is brethren, not Israelites. Yes.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. And a prophet who will come in the future will be a prophet like Moses.
Yeah, but
Okay.
there's a context to it though.
All right. What's the
The
context?
context is verse 15.
Okay, which
where
is what?
it says,
Read it.
verse 16. According to all that you desired of the Lord your God,
Yeah.
in Horeb the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear
Hmm.
the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. So the context is when they went to the Mount Horeb, God spoke out of the fire to the people, but they didn't want to hear anymore.
Okay.
And so they wanted Moses to speak to God and then bring the message to them
Sure.
from God. That's
Sure.
the context here. So
That's amazing. That fits well into
Well,
the profile of Muhammad.
So,
we
so
will
let's
see
just
how.
clarify.
Yeah.
So Moses, in other passages in Numbers, it says that Moses would go and speak.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I took the other one.
Moses would go and speak to God.
Yeah.
God would appear to him. He'd appear to him in the burning bush. He'd appear to him in a pillar
Okay.
of cloud.
Okay.
He would speak to him. He would give him the commands, and then he would take that command
Okay.
and give it to the people.
Okay.
That is how Moses.
My
revealed his revelation.
understanding-
That's what it means to be like Moses. There's nothing else in the context. That's all it says about what it means to be like Moses.
Thank you for that. I understand your concerns about this. How we understand this particular verse and verses around this verse is that not every single aspect of Moses' life has to be fulfilled in this coming prophet. For example,
Yes, just that one point.
Okay, there are few things that are very similar to Moses in Muhammad, and those things cannot be found in Jesus.
Yeah,
Let me explain. Let
Yeah,
me explain.
But all this is saying is that, like Moses,
Yes.
all it means.
So let's see
one
how
thing.
how Muhammad was like Moses. Let's talk about
No,
that.
yeah, but that's irrelevant. Let's say he was 100%, 98% like Moses, and Jesus was
And
like
Jesus
20%
was-
like
Jesus
Moses,
not-
right?
yeah.
That's not really relevant. The point that is being made here in verse 16 is that, like Moses, is what they asked, what Israel asked.
Like Moses.
No, yeah,
Yes.
but no, they didn't ask like Moses. They
Yeah.
asked
Yeah.
that Moses would speak to God for them,
Right.
and that he would speak directly to God,
Yes.
rather than God speaking directly to them.
Okay.
So when it says like Moses, the context
So this is exactly what
very
happened
clear.
with Muhammad.
No, Muhammad spoke number one to the angel Gabriel,
Right.
and also the Qurans were the
No,
revelations were
no,
revealed
we know
to
Muhammad.
him
No, you're wrong.
in
You're wrong.
trances and things like
You're
that.
mistaken about that. Muhammad did speak to God
When I read
directly.
Ahmed Didat, he was very clear that he's
Well, let me clarify something. Christians, our brothers around the world, they have to move on from Ahmed Didat. Sheikh Ahmed Didat did what he did, and we appreciate his work, but he wasn't infallible. We don't follow him in everything. We do agree with a lot of things he did and said. We don't agree with a lot of what he said, right? So let's move on from Sheikh Ahmed Didat. Our Christian brothers around the world.
How did God, not just
let me explain.
some one time, but the general way in which God
just like I
communicated
allowed you to explain. Let me explain now.
Okay.
Okay. Now Muhammad, peace be upon him, did speak to God directly when he went on the night journey, Mi'raj. He had a conversation with God. We have been told in prophetic tradition,
do you know what that
and we have reports and the details are there. 5 daily prayers were made obligatory directly by God himself and given to Muhammad. Okay, and there was the debate is about whether Muhammad, peace be upon him, saw God directly without any curtains or any barriers between, right? Or he spoke to God but he did speak to God.
Okay. So he spoke to God
so that's fulfilled.
But is that the?
Okay. No. All I have to show is he spoke to God.
No, that's not correct.
Okay.
It's not correct. So the passage is very clear that God began to speak to Israel by giving the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
By giving his voice from heaven, and the people said to stop, and they wanted from then on the revelation to come by Moses speaking directly to God and then bringing that message to them.
Okay.
Now, it may be, according to the Islamic tradition, that one time Muhammad spoke to God directly. That's not the point. The point is the revelation that is revealed, all the revelation that Moses revealed, came from him directly communicating with God.
Okay.
Muhammad, you cannot say that generally.
So are you saying angels had no role with Moses?
What you're saying.
Are you saying angels never came to Moses?
No, let me just clarify what you're
saying.
No,
because I'm turning your argument around the other way.
But I just want to clarify.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Sorry. Sorry. It doesn't need your help.
If angel did not come to Moses,
wait.
then why you are exaggerating?
Okay. Can you? Am I talking to you, sir? Am I talking to you?
If angel did not come
Does he
to
need your help?
Moses, why you are exaggerating?
Does he need your help?
Why?
Does he need your help? Does he need your help? Does he
This
need
is
your help?
Speaker's corner.
He's doing
this is speaker's corner, and everybody has a right to speak.
Okay.
If you,
We'll continue with our discussion.
Okay,
we'll ignore him.
We'll
ignore him. Yeah. He's being indecent, and we'll continue with our decent discussion. So, with regards to this question, if I can show you that Moses had interaction with the angels, then your argument falls on its face.
No, not
really.
really.
Because then both can be showed that there were times when Muhammad spoke to God, and there were times when he didn't speak to God directly. Likewise, there were times when Moses spoke to God, and there were times when he didn't speak to God directly. So, what does that show us? That your argument, your criteria cannot be used as a rule of thumb in this case. What can be used as a rule of thumb are the indications or are the conditions given by God. What is the condition? One condition or a few conditions actually.
We're moving on. I don't want to move on from this point.
No, why not? Because
we haven't finished. I want to respond to what
I have responded to your point already.
Okay, so can I respond to that point?
Yeah.
So he was not squeezed by Moses. He wasn't. He wasn't squeezed 3 times.
Sorry.
And
sorry,
even Moses was able to read and write.
So what I'm trying to say, when you read that passage, there may have been an occasion, according to the Islamic tradition, that Muhammad spoke directly to God, right? I don't agree with that, but it's in your tradition, right? But as a general rule...
of course you don't agree with...
Yeah, of course, yeah.
All of
but
it.
As a general rule...
You don't agree with anything we have.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But as a general rule,
yeah.
The manner in which God communicated his revelation was not by Muhammad speaking directly to God.
Okay.
Whereas, let me just finish, just to give you the opposite.
Yeah.
Whereas with Moses, there may have been occasions where he may have spoken to angels or whatever, but the majority, the general rule of him receiving his revelation was that he received it directly from God.
That's only
and
with
then
the Ten
imparted it to
Commandments. That's only with the Ten
No, the
Commandments.
Ten Commandments were given by God.
So
voiced
Torah
to the people
was
of Israel.
entirely given directly by God. Do you show me in the Bible?
Well,
Show me in the Bible the
well,
Torah,
yeah.
5 books or whatever they contain was given directly by God.
I've just shown you. What
No,
that
10
passage-
commandments, I
the very
agree.
passage
10
that
commandments. Just like Muhammad was given certain commandments by God, obligation of prayer, right, directly by God. Torah was given directly by God to Moses.
Yeah.
Was the law in its entirety given by God directly?
I think
Or
so, yeah.
show me
I
the
think-
evidence.
No, what I'm trying to
The
say,
evidence, please.
Sorry, let me take that back. What I'm
Okay,
trying to say
okay,
is that as a
okay.
general rule,
Yeah.
the revelation
Now you're
that
imposing
Moses
rules,
received-
yes.
Yeah, as I'm talking about a general rule, because
Right.
this is the general characterization of Moses,
Okay.
according to that passage, to be like Moses
Okay.
is to be one who speaks directly to God
Okay.
and receives
Now
his
clearly
revelation.
we don't agree, right?
Well,
So
it
let's
says that in
move
the
on.
passage.
Let's
It says that
move
in the
on.
passage.
Let's move on to the conditions now.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's go.
So
to the
let me
first
show
one.
you. Let me show you.
Name
Okay.
of
Listen,
So, all right, you've
listen,
made your point.
listen.
I've made my
Are
point.
these
Now
Christian
we want to
manners?
move on to the
the
Are
next
name
these-
of God in the burning bush.
Are these
In
Christian
the burning
manners?
bush,
Are these Christian
Moses-
manners?
Moses
Are these Christian manners?
received
Are
revelation.
these Christian manners?
Okay.
Are these
Moses,
Christian
Hey,
manners?
bro,
Moses received
Yeah.
revelation in the
No,
burning
no.
bush.
Are these Christian manners?
In the burning bush. And special name of God.
Thanks.
A name of God.
Thank you. I think that manners.
Okay. So the next condition would be a prophet like thee. That's the first one.
Yeah, let's talk about
The
that very
next-
quickly.
well, we've just both given our opinion on that, right? We
Yeah.
can move on from that.
Yeah,
Otherwise
absolutely.
we'll be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next point is from the midst of thee.
Okay.
From the midst of thee.
Okay.
Who's he
Now,
speaking to?
Okay. He's speaking to the Israelites.
So
here.
from the midst of the
Okay.
Israelites.
Yes. Okay. Now, what's the Hebrew for that? Are you aware of the
Yeah,
Hebrew?
the Hebrew word is kereb, I think.
Okay.
The kereb, which means in
Kereb
your midst,
means
or it
your-
actually can refer to your inner parts.
No.
If I'm right, I just got
Kereb means close to you. Okay.
It
The
actually
same
can
word.
mean your
The
inner-
same word is in Arabic.
I'll tell you
Qarib.
what, I'll pull
Qarib
up- I
means
will
someone
literally-
close to you. Someone close to you. So again,
I will literally
translations.
pull up the word.
Okay,
I will
please do.
literally pull up the word.
And
So
you've
let's-
already given me the word.
I will literally pull up the Hebrew.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So we go to
Okay.
Hebrew.
Because a lot of the biblical translations are theologically driven. These translations, just like many
I'm
translations of the
pulling up the
Quran,
Hebrew for you.
I'm being consistent.
I'm
Just
pulling up
like
the
many
Hebrew for you.
translations of the Quran,
So
they
from
are.
your midst.
Yeah.
Click on it. From your midst.
Yeah.
The Hebrew word.
It's kirba.
So yeah, it's
It's
giving
kirba.
me. Let me
Okay.
just bear with me a
Yeah.
sec. So let's click on this. Okay.
In the Arabic language, we have the same word for closeness of relations. Okay, koraba.
Kerub.
Okay, or
So
yeah.
the definition
I'm
of
sorry, not
kerub-
koraba, akreba.
The definition of kerub is midst or inward parts. It refers even to your inner organs.
Okay, okay.
Right? So when he says
And-
in the midst of thee, he's talking to the Israelites and he's saying the prophet will come from in your midst.
Okay. Now, no, that okay.
Inner parts.
And other meanings. Can you read other meanings? Among, body.
I'll
Wait,
give
wait,
you
wait,
another
wait,
dic-
wait,
sorry,
wait,
where?
wait.
Yeah,
Can
go
you
on,
stop
yeah.
there?
Yeah, which one are you reading?
Devoured, entrails, heart, herself, inner
right,
thought,
inner.
inside,
Yeah.
inward
Yeah.
feelings, inward part,
right.
inward thought, inwardly,
So the
middle,
general meaning
midst,
is
within,
within you,
within
the
our
Israelites.
land, within their land. Okay, go down, please. Okay,
This is another dictionary. another
okay.
Hebrew
Which is
dictionary.
what does it say? Sorry.
Inward part, midst.
Okay,
Yeah.
and keep going.
Inward parts of the human body. So the
okay.
context,
Okay,
the
the
real
way-
meaning is within you.
Okay.
Within you, the
The
Israelites
word,
that he's speaking to.
Are you aware that Arabic and Hebrew are sister
Yeah,
languages?
honestly, I'm just going to
Yeah.
go by a dictionary. I'm not going to go by
Okay.
Arabic or your knowledge
Okay,
of
I
Arabic.
can get out another dictionary and show you.
Okay, show me a dictionary that gives that word
the
kereb
term
a different meaning.
qarib or kirb.
But that's Arabic you're talking about.
No.
Then you're committing the phonic fallacy. I think that happened to you in the
No.
debate,
I'm
isn't
not.
it?
I am not. I'm not committing that fallacy because I know for a
The
fact.
word Allah in Hebrew is an oak tree.
No, it's not. No, it's
Anyway,
not.
I don't know. It
No,
was brought
because
up
the
in that
word,
debate
the
you
word
had. Remember that
Allah,
debate
the
you
word
had?
Allah comes from Elohim and Ilahi, same term
What?
used by biblical
Yeah.
personalities.
Yeah.
Elohim,
El and Elohim, yeah, they're
no,
different.
Ilahi. Allah is Al Ilaha. Allah, the term Allah
It's all
is
right.
Al
I'm just mucking around with you. I
Ilaha.
was
Ilaha
just-
is the word used by allegedly Jesus on the cross. So
It's a general word for God. It can mean like Greek
exactly.
gods. It can
And
mean any
when
kind of
some
God,
Christians
right?
claim that is moon god or
The word El or Theos or whatever
Okay.
can be any
now,
god.
now,
Even
now,
Greek gods.
midst the term midst there, okay, can be argued or can be debated, right? When we go further,
From Hebrew.
from no,
Not Arabic.
absolutely, I stand by my point.
Karib.
I'm saying karib is actually qarib in Arabic. Okay,
Yeah, but it doesn't
qarib
mean
means
anything to
close.
me in Arabic.
In Arabic, it means close. Okay, if you ask any student
The
of
Hebrew
Arabic,
means inward parts.
okay,
Or
no,
inner,
the problem
in your
is
midst.
do you know Semitic languages?
No, but I know other
Okay,
people.
I know
that
one
do.
of them. I know one of them. I mean, relatively, I know it relatively well. I'm not an expert in the Arabic language, okay, but I'm a student of the language.
Well, I'm
I
just
have
going
to
by the
study it.
dictionary.
Okay,
I've
so
got two dictionaries that support my definition.
if
you
you
can
want,
come up with a dictionary,
yeah,
that'd be great.
I will get it for
And,
you.
and a Hebrew dictionary, not Arabic.
Yes, I will. If we go to this dictionary,
this is very
Gesenius.
clear, but let's say
Is it
hypothetically-
Gesenius? Is it Gesenius? Which one?
I'm
is
doing
it?
Strong's and also Brown's Driver Briggs. But let's
Okay.
say hypothetically that's correct.
Okay.
Let's say
So,
hypothetically.
so now we move on.
hypothetically, if that definition is correct, that means it has to come
If
from
we
Islam.
keep moving on, you will see why we insist that this refers to a prophet.
Okay, we'll move to
Okay,
the next one.
yeah,
The
yeah.
next point.
Okay,
Right, so
so-
we've done a prophet like Moses. We've both given
Yes,
our opinion.
yes,
We've done in your midst.
yes.
We've both given our opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the next one.
Next one is
Let me just pull it up again. The next one is from your brethren. Yeah?
okay.
Of thy brethren.
Yes. So you see, we of thy brethren. Okay. Now, brethren here can mean Israelites, no doubt. Number one. Okay.
You
I
agree with
believe
that, can you?
100% brethren can mean Israelites, and predominantly in the Bible it means the Israelites. I'm being more honest than you probably expect, right?
yeah, yeah,
okay.
good, yeah,
And I'm not saying that you would expect any worse from me, because we've never had interaction before, right?
Yeah.
So I like to be as upright as possible.
Yeah, sure, great. That's fantastic. Me
in
too,
these
me
discussions.
too. I try
Okay,
as well.
right.
Unless I'm
So,
really pressed and
but
not
exceptionally, the term has been used for non-Israelites. Okay.
Yeah.
For Edomites, for example, who were Arabs, the same term in the Bible has been used for brethren.
Well, the word
right?
just means brother, so it can be used of anyone.
And this is where-
so
this is-
Jacob and Esau were brothers.
Okay, this is where I take you back to the term qarib, okay, or qarib, which means people who are close, right?
We've
For
gone
example,
from that,
I'll
we've
give you an
moved
example very quickly. In the Quran, we have a verse.
It doesn't mean that. We've gone to
No,
the dictionary. Have you got
wait,
a
let me
dictionary
let me
that
quickly
says that?
explain. Let me quickly explain
Yeah,
why
but
I'm.
I don't want to let you get away with saying it means something without getting.
But
a
let me
dictionary.
explain, and you can disagree with me, no problem. Okay, in the Quran we have a verse where it talks about people who are to be revered or who are to be taken care of, or there's a hierarchy of respect and attention in the Quran. For
But we're talking
example,
about the Arabic
let me finish my point, and you will see where I'm coming from. Okay, Semitic languages usually, when they have the same words differently pronounced in those three Semitic languages, they usually mean the same thing. Okay, they usually mean the same thing.
yeah,
Okay,
I disagree with that. I just want to go by the
and
dictionary
Semitic
definition.
languages. Let me explain very quickly again. Semitic languages are very rich languages. A word can be used in different places or different contexts for different meanings. For example, let me quickly give you an example here. In the Quran, this verse, it states, that you are to worship Allah, and then wabil walidaini ihsana wal yatama, wadil qurba. Okay,
Don't bore everyone with the Arabic.
Okay. But
Sorry.
you have to be patient, because it's a discussion about languages, right? Dhil qurba in Arabic can mean your close relatives or your relatives, generally your relatives,
But
right?
we're not talking
Okay.
about Arabic.
Okay.
We're talking about Hebrew.
Right.
The Hebrew word is clearly referring to your inward parts. The word in your midst.
Okay.
It's kereb in Hebrew, which means
You
it
are
can refer to your
insisting
inner organs.
you are insisting that it means that. I am saying
The
it
dictionary
has a
says it
wider
means
meaning.
that.
I'm saying it has a wider
You've
meaning.
not shown me any
I will.
authority for
I
that.
will.
Not
I
Arabic.
okay.
I want Hebrew.
Okay. Okay. Let me Google it. Can someone Google for me quickly the Hebrew word for relatives? Hebrew word for relatives. Okay, we will see. We will get to it right now. Okay. Let's establish this before we go. Hebrew word for relatives, and we will see. What is it?
I don't even know if
Can you
there's
see
an English.
a transliteration?
No, not that I can see.
Go back up.
My English dictionary. Try that.
Sorry? No, relatives, generally, not specifically, not mother or not father, relatives.
So relatives is going to be brethren again.
No, that's brothers. There is a specific word. There is a specific word for that in Hebrew, akha, okay, which is very similar to the Arabic language. Akhi, akhun, okay. So
I just think, what's the dictionary definition? You know, what's the dictionary say?
the problem is in dictionaries, when you go to dictionaries, what is the word? Qaram. There you go.
Where'd you get that from?
Okay, that's
Hang on, this is probably.
where literally. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
All the words in
who's-
Hebrew
Okay.
refer to kinsmen.
What's this website?
Kinsman,
Who are they?
kinsman, right?
I want-
Yeah.
I want
Okay,
to know-
relative.
I want an
Okay.
authoritative
Okay.
dictionary.
No. Wait. Look, there was no plan. This is not a conspiracy. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Jewish
but
website.
that still
Okay.
doesn't mean anything.
Okay, I don't even know what that is. Okay. So this is clearly not a conspiracy.
I don't want to be rude, right? I just
This
want
is
a
not.
dictionary.
This is okay. No. Pull that out again, please. Now you gave me a dictionary.
Yeah, I gave you a
Okay,
dictionary.
okay. I am giving you. This is
not a dictionary.
my claim. What was my claim? My claim was the term Qareb or Qarib or Qarib has wider meaning. You can't just put one meaning to it and say that's the only meaning this word has. Semitic languages do not work like that. This is what you have to
It does
understand.
have other meanings. Inward
No.
parts, your
No,
entrails.
but what
you
about
know.
relatives?
Is
that one of the
a
meanings?
Dictionary. No, it's not a dictionary. Not
So
unless it's your brother.
you don't accept that? You
Yeah,
don't
no,
have-
I don't accept that. Not
you-
unless it's
okay.
a dictionary.
Okay, we'll leave it for the people now listening to
leave
us.
it to the people.
They need to go and do their research and see whether relatives is one of the meanings of Qareb.
And then we can
In
move
the
on to
Hebrew
the
language,
next
we can
part,
move
which
on to
is
the next
brethren,
part now.
right?
I've made my point that these terms, a lot of the words in Semitic languages have wider meanings. You can't just pin them down. You can't just pin them down and claim only one meaning. Okay. The meaning that may help
because
you.
Many,
Yeah,
I
okay.
can do a speech as well.
Like-
do a speech as well.
No, I haven't done a speech.
Yeah, you were just talking to the camera.
Okay.
Right, so the word kereb can have many meanings. It can
Yes,
have
thank you.
meanings of inward parts, like your entrails,
Absolutely,
things like that.
absolutely.
That's what
All the
that's
things you
the
read,
meaning.
yes.
So it's talking about in your midst, you know, within you. It can
But
mean within
is-
a group of people.
the question
or
is
within you,
one of the
within your
meanings
organs.
relatives?
That is, no, the meaning is not relatives, no.
Okay, we will not move on until we we establish this. We will not move on until we show our friend here that relatives is one of the meanings of Qareb in the Hebrew language. And if that's
And
the
I want a
case,
dictionary.
then
I
you
want
will
authoritative dictionary.
Okay, then will you admit that your
Yeah, look,
your
if you can
argument?
show me from a dictionary, we
Yeah.
can,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll have to find
I'm
something
open
very
to being
quickly.
wrong. I just want to be
No,
proved
because
wrong
these
correctly.
discussions are very important. There are people watching out there,
Yeah.
and they deserve the best knowledge that is
You can show
available
me
out there.
a Hebrew dictionary that can apply that word.
Okay, so
to-
can you give
to
me
parts,
that?
to relatives? Then we can accept that.
Can you check Gesenius?
Who's that?
Gesenius was a Hebrew dictionary. Okay, Gesenius. Gesenius, Gesenis, I think, or Nius.
G-E-S.
Senius, I think so. That's Gesenius Hebrew Dictionary. Yeah, there you go, Hebrew grammar. Okay. I hope you can find the word Qareb.
Is it online or?
Okay. Or just put spelling Qareb. Hebrew. Okay.
I think it's going to take someone to work.
I am claiming that one of the meanings of Qareb is relatives. Okay,
you've claimed
and
that-
if
you've
that's
said-
true,
I'll tell you
if
what.
that's true, your argument crumbles.
Okay,
your
let's-
argument.
let's-
This is
let's-
why we
let's
move
say-
on to the next point.
Yeah, but let's just clarify. So if we,
And leave it- I think
if
leave
there
it
is
to-
a dictionary
yeah.
out there that says it, great, you've won your point. If there isn't, you've lost the point.
Okay, let's.
Okay?
Okay,
And if there
I'm so
isn't-
confident. I'm so
Yeah.
confident. I will let people do their research.
Okay, so would you be
Yeah.
so confident to say that if the word kereb does not mean relatives,
Yeah.
but it means in your midst or in your inner parts?
No, those
then if
are meanings.
Yeah,
Those.
but if there is no other meaning than that, and your meaning is not
Then
found,
my
would you accept your argument
then
falls
my
apart?
argument falls
Okay,
apart.
cool.
Yeah,
All right, let's move on to President.
then I'm saying that meaning is there, and if it's there, then people can actually look at
Let
it.
them look at it.
Qareb, Q-O-R-E-B.
And what's the name of the dictionary that you suggested?
I don't know what the meaning of Qareb is in Gesenius. I want to check what Gesenius says
spelled it for the
on this,
camera
right? But have you found any meaning of Qareb? If you put Qareb, for example, Q-O-R-E-B,
Let the readers do it,
meaning
we'll move
meaning
on.
of Qareb
Let the listeners do it. We'll move on. We'll move
Okay.
on to brethren.
Because to find meanings of words
Because people need to do research anyway, rather than
absolutely.
just listen to.
Now,
to
next point is brethren. Okay, in the Hebrew language, what's the word there? I want you to read the word. And we're going to use the same method to reach the meaning of that particular word. Okay, brethren. What's the Hebrew word there for brethren?
I think I got the wrong word.
We're going on for, we're going on for too long to address a very simple and straightforward matter. But if we have to go through this exercise, no problem.
Okay, so now it's the word akh.
Akh. Okay, as I said to you earlier, that
Brother, definition, brother,
same word in the Arabic language.
countryman.
Okay,
you know,
brother, countryman.
Fellow countryman, which is why the NIV translated it fellow Israelite.
Okay, okay. And continue, what else?
It's got, you want me to read them all out?
Yeah, please.
Alike, another, brethren, brother, brother with his brothers, brotherhood, brothers, companions, countrymen, countrymen, fellow countrymen, fellows, kinsman, nephew, other, relatives.
There you go. All these meanings, every single one of them supports my point. I'm saying, are the first question, are the Arabs directly related to the Israelites?
Ishmael was Isaac's brother.
Therefore,
and he was Jacob's uncle.
Therefore,
So he was a relative. He was a relative.
Okay.
A distant relative.
Okay.
He was
Now-
actually, and I think as well, when you look in the context, you've got the 12 tribes. We have to also remember that a valid option
absolutely.
is that it's one of the
We're
12
we're not
tribes
talking about them
which are
yet,
12
because
brothers.
my point is not about them. My point, I'm claiming
Yeah, so your
that
point.
brethren here refers to the Arabs. I'm
Okay.
claiming that.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
claiming. You're not accepting that,
Yeah.
right?
So,
You're saying
why do you say the Arabs? Where did you get the Arabs?
the children of Ishmael,
So what makes you think they're children of Ishmael?
the Arabs,
Yeah.
because Ishmael was in Paran. Paran is Arabia. According to the Bible, Paran is Arabia.
No, Paran. I don't think Paran is Arabia. I think
I'll show
Paran-
it to you from the Bible.
Yeah, show me.
Okay?
Yeah, show me.
Okay. First, do you accept that Ishmael was in Paran?
I'd have to have a look, but
Genesis 21. Chapter
because
21.
I think there's a whole bunch of scholarship
Okay.
on whether or not the Ishmael. Whether
No,
or
no.
not
First,
the Arabs
let
are actually,
first let us
Ishmaelites.
establish where Ishmael is.
There were lots of people. The Jews were in Paran, right? The Jews were in Paran. You had Christians in Paran. You had lots of people in Paran, right?
Okay.
It was so close to Africa.
I'm saying
You had people
Ishmael
from
was in
Egypt
Paran.
there, You had heaps of people there.
Okay, no problem. But we're talking about Arabs, right? Right?
Yeah, but what makes you think the Arabs, just because the Arabs are in Paran 600 years after Jesus, which is over 1,000 years after Ishmael.
Arabs
I mean,
were-
Ishmael is what?
Wait.
Ishmael is
Are you aware of
2,500 years before
Are you
Muhammad?
aware
How
of
can we say
Are
that
you
that's-
aware of archaeology of Arabia? Are you aware of it?
Not a lot, no.
Okay.
I know a little bit.
the
little
Arabs
bits and
the
pieces.
Arabs are there on Babylonian inscriptions.
Okay, no, yeah, but
Okay.
no.
This
I
is we're
know a
talking
little
about
bit,
8th
I know a
century
little bit.
BC, before Christ.
Yeah, but the Babylonians actually refer to them as a mix of people, from my memory of my study.
Okay.
And that they
No,
weren't
no, no,
actually-
no.
it was a bit
Babylonians-
of a hodgepodge.
Okay, show
of
me.
things.
Show me where the
Look,
Babylonians are.
Honestly,
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head. You'd have
What
to
we
prove
do
your-
have from
your argument
Babylonian
too.
inscriptions
Show me
and
your inscription.
Assyrian inscriptions that the Arabs were seen as bandits, right? Robbers,
Yeah,
people. Okay,
Well, hang on,
and
does it say Arabs?
it shows Arabs.
You'd have
It
to
shows
show me that.
inscriptions.
Yeah, but you'd have to
Okay.
show me where it uses the term Arabs.
Google Babylonian inscriptions of Arabs. I will see right now. You will see Arabs
Yeah, I want you to
sitting
prove
on
every point.
camels.
I'm not gonna give you
Okay,
an inch.
raiding. Okay, and all scholars are unanimous. This is a
I don't
depiction
think
of.
so. I've read arguments that there really was no certain.
Look.
that really Arabness from what I've read on
you
scholarship
have an
was
attitude.
created
You have an
after
attitude.
Islam began.
I can see you have an attitude that anything I may present, you will not accept it.
Well, I want
Okay.
you to prove it.
I will prove it. But
Yeah.
if I cannot prove something to you because you don't want to accept anything I'm trying to prove, how can I prove it?
Well, you would have to show me
Because
some evidence.
people out there, they have to have this attitude of acceptance that, okay, if something is making sense, it's reasonable, okay, let's
I
accept
just
it.
want some evidence
Okay.
of what you're
Yes,
saying. I don't want it
absolutely.
to just- I don't
I'm
want it to
saying
be
the
just
Arabs were
words.
there before Christ. 8, 7, I mean,
so
we
you
have...
can refer to the Arab. You can have inscriptions that refer to the Arabs
Okay.
as a people group, as a united people group,
Okay.
descended from Ishmael.
Okay, now let me
You've got
give you.
evidence of
Let's talk about the evidence. Let
Because
me
Ishmael
let me
was
give you the
thousands of
blow.
years.
Let me give you the blow. you will not be able to respond to.
Okay.
Open the Bible, please.
I got my phone.
When was Isaiah revealed?
About 700 years before Christ.
Okay. When was I saying the Babylonian inscriptions come from? Assyrians, 8th century BC.
I think you were saying Babylonians, but
I
I think
said
you meant Assyrian.
No, Assyrians and Babylonians.
Okay.
Yeah. 8th century BC. Assyrians. I'm talking about Assyrians. 8th century BC. And Isaiah was revealed
About 700.
same time,
BC, yeah.
approximately.
Yeah.
Book of Isaiah,
Yeah.
chapter 21. Verse 13.
And it says Arabs, doesn't it?
We will see.
Sure,
And
what-
read
what-
it loud,
what
please.
verse? Oh, sorry.
Verse 13.
I'm going to give it the chapter.
Isaiah 21, verse 13. 13.
So we're just getting it all together. Okay, so
Read it. No, read it, read
yeah, I'll
it.
read it to you.
Yeah.
A prophecy against Arabia.
Thank you. Stop
Right.
there now.
So
Isaiah
let's just
was
look at that
revealed.
word. Let's look at that word, Hebrew word. Arabia.
Okay, good. A prophecy about Arabia in the book of Isaiah, which was revealed in the 8th century BC sometime on the prophet Isaiah. Same time I'm talking about when the Assyrians had inscriptions about Arabs. Okay, my friend challenged me on that. I have given him evidence from the Bible that the Arabs are mentioned at that time in the Bible.
Okay, so the Arabs are the people I mentioned there in the Bible. yeah?
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you. So now you
where
accept.
are
Can you
they-
accept?
where
Can you
are they
before we
from?
move on? Can you accept that you were clearly mistaken on that?
Yeah, perhaps I was mistaken, yeah.
Okay, now let's move on. Okay, so the Arabs are ancient and they are
Yeah,
seen
seems
as the
like they're
birth.
mentioned.
Okay, now keep reading this very passage. This passage will prove my point to you that Ishmael was in Arabia. Keep reading this passage. I will prove to you that this prophecy clearly refers to Muhammad. Not only this, even Deuteronomy 33:2 and Isaiah 42, the entire chapter is talking about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But those,
Okay,
I mean, if we're
prophecy
spending so much
against-
time on this,
This is a prophecy against the Arabs.
okay,
A prophecy against Arabia.
yes.
Your
And what's
car-
the prophecy?
You caravans of Dedanites who camped in the thickets of Arabia, bring water for the thirsty. You who live in Tamar, bring food for the fugitives. They flee from the sword, from the drawn sword, from the bent bow, and from the heat of battle. I think what it's saying is that,
Keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
I wanna lead to a point.
okay, this is what the Lord, but let's just clarify what this is saying so far, right?
No,
So
we're not
saying that-
discussing that prophecy yet. That's a
you-
prophecy for Islam, by the way, but we'll continue. We'll talk about it
Okay.
another time.
Right, so
I'm trying to lead to a point.
This
Yeah.
is what the Lord says to me. Within 1 year, as a servant bound by contract would count it, all the splendor of Kedar will come to an end.
Okay.
Kedar, that's Petra.
No,
the
that's
survivors
not
of the
Petra.
ar-
Wait.
Yeah, it is. When you click on it, it talks about the cleft of the rock. So that's clearly Petra.
Okay. Now, I mean, are you sure you want to go into that?
Yeah,
Because
we
we're going to spend another half an hour, and then we're going to come around half an hour later, and you're going to say, you know what? You were right.
You get 1 point right. You get 1 point
no,
right.
I
and
don't.
I humbly admit it. And
no,
you think
no,
that,
no.
that every point
no.
is right.
Petra was built by Nabateans. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
And who were the Nabateans?
Let's have a look. Kedar. The word
No,
Kedar.
wait.
So the
Are you aware that Petra was built by Nabateans?
Look, I'm not sure. No,
I
I'm
am.
not sure.
I am.
I can't. Yeah,
I
you
am.
have to give me a source
Okay.
for it.
Okay.
Go on. What's your point? Let's just go. Let's let you make your point.
If we stick to our points, then
Let's
we
stick
can
to
make
it.
some progress.
Okay, let's stick to it.
Kedar is in Arabia. Do you agree? According to the book of
Yeah, it
Isaiah.
seems to be on the face value of this passage that it's talking about Kedar in Arabia.
Seems to be. Are you sure? Seems to be. You just said seems to
Yeah,
be.
well, it mentions Kedar, but it doesn't tell us where Kedar is, right? So I'd
Well,
have
it's
to
a
look
prophecy
into that.
about Arabia.
Yeah, but we're not told exactly
Why?
where
Well, no.
Arabia
Why is the Bible talking about Kedar in Arabia?
Well, it's talking about them being judged.
Okay. And where are they? According to this particular passage,
So-
where do you think Kedar is?
So Kedar seems to be in Arabia.
Okay, that's good. Who is Kedar now? Do you know who Kedar is?
It's the Ishmaelites, yeah.
No. Who is he?
Kedar himself. Oh,
Yes.
look, I'm not familiar with that. You
Okay,
have to tell me.
let's go to Genesis 25:13. Let's go.
So you're going to go by the name of a city.
No.
in Isaiah
Don't jump the gun,
on
please.
someone
Just
in
help
Genesis.
me so that we can finish this very quickly. Okay, Genesis 25:13.
Genesis 25.
I'll tell you who Kedar is.
Are these the sons of Abraham, right? Okay, which
These
verse?
are the sons of Ishmael.
Oh, okay, right, that's good.
Okay.
What verse is it?
13, there, in front of you, there, yes.
Okay, so they're Arabia, right?
No, no, no.
Yeah, these are the names of the sons of Ishmael. You're saying that.
And what are the names?
Okay, and probably Kedar, that's probably what
No,
it is.
no, come on. Can you read the verses just like you
I'll
were
read it
reading
to
at
you.
your for
Okay,
yourself?
These
Yeah.
are the names of the sons of Ishmael listed in the order of their birth. Honestly, you want to pronounce them?
Nebajoth, number 1. Kedar, then
Where's
Adbil.
Kedar? Sorry.
Kedar is there, number
there,
2.
yeah,
Number
yeah.
2, okay?
Yeah.
And there are many more,
Yeah.
okay? 12 sons.
Yeah, that was my
Okay,
point,
now, Kedar is in Arabia. We've already established
Yeah,
that.
it seems to be a city in Arabia.
And he is the second son of Ishmael.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so where do you think Ishmael was?
In Arabia.
Thank you.
But-
That's my
but-
point.
but
Okay, okay.
how
Now,
do we know that Muhammad was
now.
descended from
Okay, now, okay. Now you're jumping to altogether another point. Remember, you made a claim that how do we know Ishmael was in Arabia, or Arabs are the children of Ishmael, right?
Yeah, no,
I've
you've
just
proven
shown
every
you.
point.
I've just shown you that, and so this is the second point you have been corrected on. Agreed?
Well, no, I was happy to accept it. As
No,
soon as you made
you
it's the same
no,
point.
you challenged
As soon
me.
as you
When
made
I
that
said the
first
Arabs
point.
were generally speaking,
Yeah.
the period we are addressing, 7th century BC before Christ,
Yeah.
right? The Arabs were the children of,
Yeah.
generally speaking, not all Arabs, of
Yeah.
course, because they were outskirts, but these Arabs we are talking about in particular,
Yeah.
Kedar in particular, and
Arabia.
his children, they are in Arabia.
Yeah, but
Ismail,
you know as
so
well as I know that we are talking about thousands of years between these groups.
Paran is Arabia. This is the point I'm trying to make, highlight, because according to book of Genesis, chapter 21, verses 17 onwards, Ishmael was left in Paran by his father.
Yeah.
And then he had children. He got married in Arabia, he had children, and then 12 sons. Kedar is clearly in Arabia because his children are in Arabia, according to the book of Isaiah, chapter 21, 13, a prophecy regarding Arabia. So this is very clear now. This is why we connect Deuteronomy 33:2 to this prophecy in Deuteronomy 18:18. Why? Because that prophecy says, Lord came from Sinai. He rose from Mount Seir, and he shone forth from Mount Paran. 3 locations.
Yeah, but that
Let me
particular
finish.
prophecy
Let me
is
finish,
not
please.
talking
Let me
about-
finish.
that
It's
particular prophecy-
wait,
I've let you
man.
talk for
Wait.
ages,
I'm
man.
finishing
You just
right
made
now.
another point.
I'm finishing
Okay,
right
you
now.
finish, right.
Okay. It mentions Deuteronomy 33:2 mentions 3 locations. Sinai,
Yeah.
Moses. It's connected to Moses. Sire or Sa'ir in the
I've heard
Arabic
this one before.
mountain range in Palestine. Paran is Arabia. So 3 individuals. You do definitely accept Moses from Sinai. You accept
It's not
Jesus.
3 individuals. Let's have a look at
3
the verse.
locations, I said.
Yeah, 3
locations.
locations.
3 locations
These are the
connected.
locations that Israel traveled in the Exodus.
Okay, wait. I'm saying these are 3 locations, right?
Yeah.
Distinct locations.
Yeah.
And they are connected to 3 distinct personalities.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
They're the places that Israel traveled through the wilderness.
Okay. So what's happening in Paran? He's
but
shown
we're pretty much
he's
ready to
shown
wrap up
he's
if
shown
you wanna
forth
wrap up
he's shown forth from Paran. Paran is Arabia, and he came with 10,000 saints. So what happened in Paran? What
you've
happened?
given your
How
argument
did
about
Lord
brethren.
how did Lord shone forth from Paran, from Arabia? What happened in Arabia?
Well, because Israel moved through there. Yeah, the people of Israel moved through
So
there.
why
and
is Lord
eventually into the
shining
promised land
forth? Like, I mean,
through his people.
when you read the verse,
Because-
it says that he rose.
Let's have a look at the verse.
Okay, yeah, look at the verse, please.
What is it? Genesis.
Deuteronomy 33:2. What the verse is saying, there is,
And then once you finish
there
with
is,
brethren, I wanna
there
make
is
my
a
point.
gradual elevation of the Lord, so to say, yeah, in the biblical
33,
language,
33.
that it starts from Sinai, it goes further up in Seir, and it reaches its peak in Paran. It reaches its peak in Arabia. So what happened in Arabia?
Okay.
Read.
So let's read this
Yes,
passage.
please,
right?
please.
This is the blessing that Moses, the man of God, pronounced on the Israelites before his death.
Okay.
He said, "The Lord came from Sinai
You're reading the, okay, yeah.
and dawned over them from Seir.
Okay,
He shone forth from Mount Paran.
yes.
He came with myriads of holy ones from the south, from his mountain slopes. Surely it is you who love the people. All the holy ones are in your hand. At your feet they all bow down, etc., etc. The law that Moses gave us, the possession of the assembly of Jacob. He was king over Jeshurun, when the leaders of the people assembled." Do you want to keep going, or is that what
You wanted to read all of that.
Okay.
I'm
So-
concerned about one verse.
So
Okay.
it seems to me here that this is a blessing being pronounced over.
Oh, okay. So
over
in
the
other words,
nation of
it's a
Israel.
prophecy, right?
Well, no, it's not a prophecy.
Okay.
It's actually describing what's just happened.
Okay, what happened?
What's happened is that
What happened
God
in
has
Quran?
God has brought Israel out of Egypt through all these areas to the place where they are today, at the point of this
The
writing,
Jews
when they're
never,
about to enter
to
into
my
the promised
knowledge,
land.
in the time of Moses, never made it to Arabia. Did you know that?
They crossed through.
Sinai.
Look, they crossed through the Red Sea, right through
Okay,
that area.
where did they go?
And as well, Arabia. You're thinking down the
Moses-
bottom where Mecca
Moses-
is, but Arabia is much higher. It can be all of that.
Okay, so Arabia is
So
higher,
if you
but
look- if you look at Arabia,
is
let's
Makkah
just talk
Arabia?
about-
Is
let's-
Makkah Arabia?
Yeah, I know, but this isn't saying Mecca.
It's not saying Makkah.
It's just
no,
saying
no.
Didan,
tell you-
Kedar,
okay.
you know, these
Okay,
places.
wait. I will
Let's
prove
have
my.
a look.
I'll prove my
Where's
point.
Kedar?
Wait. I'll prove my point. Wait. Now you're saying Mecca is not Arabia. I'm saying Quran is Mecca. I'm saying that right now. Here, standing in front of
Have
you.
you
I'm
got
saying
evidence for that?
yes. Go Genesis
You want to go to Genesis now,
chapter
okay.
21, verse 17.
And then the last point, because I want to make,
Well,
I want to
of
give
course,
my argument as
of
to
course,
who the brethren
of
is.
course. I'm saying Quran is Mecca. The wilderness of Paran, which is being addressed in Deuteronomy 33:2, this verse is directly talking about Mecca. So what happened in Mecca?
Genesis what?
21, chapter 21, verse 17. What's happening to Ishmael? Tell us.
So God heard the boy crying. This is when they were
God
saying-
heard the boy crying. Read loud so that we can all hear
God
you.
heard the boy crying,
Yes.
and the angel of the Lord called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation."
Okay. 21. Sorry, verse 21.
21.
Yeah. No, there.
While he was living in the desert of Paran, his mother got a wife for him from Egypt.
Okay, I want to address the point where it talks about the well of water that emerged as a miracle under his feet. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. It's there in chapter 21.
Wait, sorry.
Okay.
Verse 21.
No,
What are you referring to?
not verse 21. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Then she went from verse 16. Then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away, for she thought, "I cannot watch the boy die." And as she sat there, she began to sob. God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar. Okay, where is the discussion on the well? Yes. The God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. Verse 19.
Yeah.
Same chapter.
Yeah.
Genesis 21, verse 19. Then God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. Why am I mentioning this?
Yeah, why are you mentioning it?
You know the biggest source of water in the Paran Valley, the Valley of Paran, which is usually called Hijaz. You know where it is?
No.
The well of Zamzam in Mecca.
Right, okay.
It
fair
hasn't dried. Okay, it hasn't
Alright.
dried to this day.
So that's
okay?
your argument as to why he's brethren.
Yeah. So
Did you want to
all
summarise it? Did you want to
indicators.
summarise
Yeah,
that, and then I'll
absolutely.
give my
The
argument?
well of Zamzam, the water that came out
don't want to give you
for,
all the airtime.
for Ishmael, was in the city of Mecca, is in the city of Mecca to this day. So Paran, where Ishmael was left, specifically where the water came out, was the valley of Paran, was a specific point, and that point is Mecca. So when Lord came from Sinai, rose
There's a lot of
forth
assumptions
from,
there, but that's
you can call them assumptions. I'm saying if this was about Jesus, the Christians would go to Scandinavia, then to Alaska, then to South America, then to Australia, and then come back to Britain to prove
Okay.
that it was Jesus, like you do with all the prophecies about Jesus, right? You use so many
can I ask you
reasons,
this
so
question?
many indicators to prove that it's Jesus. And we're saying directly these references are there about Arabia, something's happening in Arabia. The book of Isaiah, the entire chapter 42 is talking about something happening in
going on to
Arabia.
another
No, we're not going to another one. I'm just mentioning
You're
these side
talking a lot.
points.
I think it's time for me to say
Yeah,
something. Now,
okay.
I just want to ask
But
you a quick
why do
question.
the
I just wanna
Christians?
ask you a quick
Why do
question.
the Christians forget
If
that
you agree-
that approach?
If you agree that the word brethren can mean the fellow Israelites,
And the Arabs.
yeah, but you agree, right?
Yes.
Why would you choose one over the other?
Good, very good
Just a
question.
short answer, a summary
A
answer.
fair question. Why? Because what the prophecy says otherwise fits in to the context of Muhammad, for example. For example, let me give you my quickly reason.
quickly, yeah.
So Moses like prophet. Moses like, okay, prophet. Because it's not talking about Moses like person. Moses like
we've
human.
discussed what that means.
Yeah. You asked me, so let me quickly clarify what I mean, yeah? His prophethood would be like Moses. Whatever qualities Moses came with as a prophet, as a messenger, this is what God is talking about, right? Now, no one brought a new law except Muhammad. Even Jesus did not bring a new Torah. Moses came with the Torah, a comprehensive law. Only Muhammad, who came from Arabia, from Paran, brought that comprehensive law. Okay, Muhammad governed as a prophet. So did Moses. He governed his people as a prophet. He implemented law. He punished people. He applied the law of God on his people. Okay, Jesus, no Israelite prophet ever did that after Moses. Okay, I mean there were few. I mean, of course.
Can I now share why I think
let me quickly summarize my point. They did. David, Solomon, Joshua, these people did apply the same law, but the law was the Torah. Okay, sure. Muhammad came with a new law, a revision of the law of God, which is foretold again in the book of the reason. I mean, the reason why
I want to give why I think it's talking about the fellow.
Sure,
Israelites.
please do, and I'll let you talk for as long as you want.
Okay,
Right?
so,
in Isaiah 42, this law is.
Go to another one.
No. I'm trying to give you references as to why we believe, because
Yeah,
comprehensively.
but you've made your point. I think that's a simple
Last
point.
point. Last point. The reason why it is not another Israelite prophet like Moses, even Jesus himself is not like Moses in that sense, in the prophetic sense, because the prophecy remained unfulfilled, and Jesus himself denied being that prophet.
Okay, now my turn.
Yeah.
So
now, did you understand the last sentence?
Yeah.
Jesus
No, he didn't
denied.
deny being that prophet.
Okay, now that's the point we need to come back to next time.
Yeah.
In the next session.
Maybe another debate. The reason why I think it's fellow Israelites, first of all, is because within the context, if you look, that Moses is talking about the authority of Israel. So he talks about kings, and he says in chapter 17 that you shall not I'll just read it to you. When it says in chapter 17, just the chapter before, when you enter the land the Lord your God is giving you, and have taken possession of it and settled in it, and you say, let us set a king over us, like all the other nations around us, be sure to appoint over you a king the Lord your God chooses. He must be from among your brethren. Do not place a foreigner over you, one who is not an Israelite. So it seems very close here, the context seems to be talking about...
where is this you're reading from?
This is chapter 17,
okay.
Verse 14. So it's just the chapter before that it's talking about the
But this is not connected to
the brethren. The second reason...
there's no connection here.
Well, yeah, because if you look at the overall context, it's talking about the authority within
so
Israel.
So likewise...
I didn't cut you off. I'll let you talk.
Sure.
So you had the kings, you have the Levites is also mentioned in chapter 18, the same chapter. But the other reason why it's talking about brethren is because, as I said earlier in the beginning of the debate, it's in your midst, in your inner parts, the word kereb, which is applied...
Okay, so give me a prophet like Moses then.
Please.
In their midst.
So, in their midst. So when it
give
says
me a prophet
like
Moses,
the point that I made at the beginning, which you seem to have quickly forgotten about, is like Moses is not talking about any old thing like Moses. It's something very specific.
Yes.
The specific thing is that it says, the Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from your brethren. You must listen to him, for this is what you asked of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the assembly, when you said, let us not hear the voice of God, or the Lord our God, nor see this great fire anymore, lest we die. So like Moses is someone who directly speaks to God, directly, and hears his revelation as a general principle, receives that revelation, and then imparts that to the people. Now, you said Muhammad at one time spoke to God, but as a general rule, according to the Islamic tradition, Muhammad did not speak directly to God when he received his revelation, whereas this is saying that Moses
Neither did Moses.
Yes, he did.
He did not. He did. As a general rule, Moses was always speaking to God. Yeah. I asked you this question earlier.
Yeah.
The entirety of the law,
he would go up, receive his revelation, and he would share it with the people.
Okay. Now I'll tell you why this prophet is still unfulfilled. or this
And
prophecy?
Jesus did that. Jesus spoke directly to God.
Okay.
Jesus spoke, he came by the Father.
No, Jesus is
Everything
God.
he said-
Jesus
yeah,
is God.
Yeah, the Trinity.
So,
yeah.
so he's not like Moses.
Yes, he is. Yeah, no,
How is he
when
like Moses?
Like Moses is not any old thing, because otherwise he would have to be an Israelite.
No, no, but
Because
Jesus-
Moses was an
Jesus is
Israelite.
God.
Moses was an Israelite.
Jesus
So
can't
therefore
can't
Muhammad,
be-
It can't
Jesus-
be Muhammad because he wasn't an
Okay.
Israelite. That's
Okay.
the kind of argument you're making.
No,
right?
let me explain
so
why.
What I'm trying to say is
I'm
that
saying
like
Jesus
Moses
denied being that
doesn't
prophet.
mean- like Moses doesn't mean any old
Okay.
thing like Moses.
Let me give you a
It
direct-
refers specifically to the fact that very clear in the context that Moses
Okay.
spoke directly
Okay.
to God
Let,
for the people.
let me give you
and
my
then he imparted
argument
that
why.
revelation.
Why? Okay. Firstly, before I move on to the next point, very quickly, because
I've actually got it.
no, we'll finish soon.
I've actually got to get
No, no
go.
problem. We'll finish.
actually
We will finish very soon. If I show you that that prophet is not Jesus, if I show you conclusively, that's the condition. Is the door open for Muhammad then?
No, it could be Paul. Why not Paul?
Because Paul was more. Paul was
Paul spoke
a
directly
less.
to God too.
No. Paul was less of a candidate than Jesus. I'll show you why. I'll show you
I
why.
agree. Jesus is the candidate.
Thank
Jesus
you.
is the one.
Okay, let's see if
I would easily argue it's
So
Paul
why not
before I
Muhammad?
argue
What's your
it's
problem with Muhammad? Why? What's your problem with Muhammad? What's your issue?
Well, because what he
What if
teaches-
he was truly a prophet of God and foretold in the Bible? What if that is the
I
case?
have no reason to believe Muhammad was a prophet.
Okay, no problem. You don't have any reasons yet. But if you were shown conclusive reasons, and when we do meet in the future, we will talk about Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42, we'll see whether that fits Muhammad or not. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay, I'm asking if Muhammad turns out to be a very viable option for that prophecy, then what? If that's the case, then
A
what?
viable option.
Yes.
Yeah,
If the,
I don't think just because you think that it's possible he can fit the criteria, I don't think that would be.
I'm saying if he is. If
Oh,
he
if
is.
he fits it.
Yeah.
Well, if he fits it, isn't he? So,
That means he's a true prophet of
yeah,
God.
well, if he,
Okay.
if someone fits that
I'll
prophecy,
tell you
then-
why Jesus is
if-
not
if-
that
if-
prophet.
If it's definitely evidence that that is that prophecy talking about him.
Yes.
Right. But I don't think there is.
Okay, no problem. I'll tell you why Jesus is not that prophet. In the Gospel of John, when John the Baptist is baptizing people in the River Jordan, you are aware of it, right? People came and asked him 3 questions. What were those 3 questions?
Are you Elijah? Are you the prophet? Are you the Messiah?
Okay.
One of those.
When they asked him, "Are you the Elijah?" What did he say? No.
He said no, he wasn't Elijah.
Okay.
Not the physical Elijah.
Well, according to the book of Matthew, he was the Elijah. According to
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, that's because
Yeah, there's
I
a
think
confusion
Luke,
there now.
Luke,
Okay.
Luke
Yeah.
actually, when the angel Gabriel actually
Yeah.
speaks to Zechariah as John the Baptist's father,
Right.
Gabriel understands that passage to mean someone coming in the spirit and power of Elijah.
Okay.
So he was right to say no to that.
Okay.
But he was still a fulfillment of that
Okay.
prophecy. if
Okay.
you accept
I leave the confusion for you to solve. Okay.
Well,
Second
it's not
question:
confusion,
Are you the Christ, the Messiah?
No,
He said no. Who was the Christ?
Jesus, but he didn't say Jesus was the Christ directly right then and there.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. I'm saying who was the Christ to you?
Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus. Are you that prophet? That prophet. And what were they referring to?
Well, probably Deuteronomy 18. Yeah.
Not probably.
Yeah.
Biblical scholars,
likely.
biblical scholars are
likely that passage,
no
yeah.
biblical
I'm pretty much
scholars.
agreeing with you.
Okay, good. We're in agreement. That means up to that point when John the Baptist in the 1st century CE is baptizing people in the River Jordan, the prophecy remains unfulfilled. Yes.
No. All that means is that the Jews saw a distinction. The Jews at that time saw a distinction between that prophet and the Messiah.
Yes.
But if we see other passages, I'm pretty sure Peter applies it to Jesus in the book of Acts in his sermon on Pentecost. I have to double check that. But
Just double check it.
but it does seem to me that
Okay,
just
I'm-
because the Jews thought they were two different people doesn't mean it was necessarily so.
Okay,
because the
then
Jews got lots
then
of
then
things wrong
then
about
then
the
good,
Messiah.
no problem. I am asking now, if the Jews are wrong about forming a distinction in these 3 persons, that the Elijah is separate to the Christ and the Christ is separate to that prophet. Okay, they can all
That's what
not.
they thought. That was their
No.
view. Or at least some
I'm
of their
leading to a
view.
point. I'm leading to a
Yeah.
point. If the Jews are wrong in that distinction, forming a distinction between these 3 people, why did Jesus not controvert that? Why did John the Baptist remain? Was John a prophet of God?
Well, probably because, like...
Probably?
No, listen to me. Look.
No,
I
John,
used
John
word
the Baptist.
probably. No, I wasn't answering your question. I was
Yeah.
answering your first question.
Right.
Adnan, you going to be long?
No, finishing right now.
Because
Because
bro, nice to meet you, by the way.
you're going to leave after Maghrib? Okay. We're just finishing right now, and we're going to leave. I'm going to leave with you guys. Yeah.
I'll have to think about that passage you mentioned, by the way, the one in Samuel.
You got a lot of homework to do.
See you, bro.
Okay, so the point is, yeah. So if the Jews were wrong in forming that distinction between three persons, if they were wrong, as you are claiming they were wrong, John the Baptist, who is a prophet of God, listening to rubbish, listening to errors and mistakes, his job is to correct them, like Jesus corrected the Jews many times.
Yeah, but sometimes Jesus didn't, and John the Baptist perhaps as well, didn't correct people because he knew.
So they
the
left them
stubborn-
in error.
Left them in error. Like
I don't agree with
very,
that.
Very clearly, that's why Jesus.
So
spoke
why
in
was
parables,
Jesus?
it says.
So why was he
Because
correcting
their
them?
hearts were already hardened, and he just left them to the hardness.
But
of
why
their
was he
heart.
correcting them at other times on lesser important issues?
You'd have to show me
Issues.
examples so I can show you why in that situation he corrected.
When Jesus.
But we know for sure that Jesus clearly spoke in parables. It says so that they wouldn't hear, because they had already rejected so much. He got to the point where he didn't want them to hear anymore.
So are you not aware of any examples of Jesus correcting the Jews?
Yeah.
On minor issues?
Top of my head, I'm getting a bit tired because I've been here all day. So
There are many places. So this was an issue of utmost importance. That prophet, who is that prophet? Who is still?
And I'll wrap up, yeah?
Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm done.
Well, I guess we're done.
Nice talking to
I
you.
think it's been a
I
good
forgot your
chat.
name.
I'm Caleb.
Caleb.
Caleb. Yeah,
Caleb.
yeah. It's been a
Nice
good
to
chat
talk.
with
Nice
you,
to
and
talk to you.
it's,
Thank you
I've
very
seen
much.
your debate, so I do appreciate.
No worries.
you
No
chatting
worries.
with
It's
me.
my
I thought-
honor. It's my
I thought I
pleasure.
wouldn't get the honor of chatting with you, so
No,
but I did. So that's
no.
great.
I always like talking to people where I can have a decent discussion like we did. You spoke, I spoke, and we leave the judgment to the audience.
Yeah.
Let them decide. All the brothers and sisters out there, Christians and Muslims. And the main issue is, the main point I want to highlight is that you as a Christian, I as a Muslim, we have come together, we've had a decent discussion, we have shown the world that it can be done. And this is why I have debates with your scholars and you know, I went to Australia and had debates with Samuel Green and Bernie
I've seen
Powers,
that,
and I disagreed with them heavily.
Yeah.
We had huge disagreements,
Yeah.
but we were able to hug each other
Yeah, that's good.
and walk away.
Yeah, I've seen
happy.
your debates with James White as well.
Nice
So,
talking to you.
yeah,
Okay, thank you
cool.
so much
Thanks,
for your
mate.
time. No worries. Keep watching and keep coming back, and we will have more discussions. Next time we'll discuss Isaiah 42.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Okay, no worries. Okay, Kel.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Hope this video was helpful for you. This may help others too, so please consider sharing, and we will bring more videos in the future inshallah, so consider subscribing and you won't miss any. Jazakallahu khairan.